In this short lesson, you'll learn how writers elaborate on their ideas through definition, concrete details, and quotation. To elaborate is to develop or to say more about. If you made a bold statement like poop stinks, and someone said, "Can you elaborate on that?" what they're asking you to do is to develop or to say more about that idea. So here's my bold claim or statement. Yellow bananas are yummiest. So I've already started to elaborate on this idea or this claim. We know that not all bananas are yellow. Most likely, when you've been shopping for bananas, you've had to pick between a variety of shades of green. That's because banana farms pick and ship bananas when they're still unripe, so that they make it into our fruit bowl still with time to ripen. So at this point, I'm stuck. Oftentimes, when I'm asked to elaborate, I get to a point in my writing where I actually get stuck and I'm not quite sure what else to say. So at this point, I'm going to pull out one of my tools that I have for elaboration, which is definition. Definition is defining a word or phrase that is important for understanding the claim. It's important here that you don't just define any word or phrase, but that you actually define words and phrases that are helpful for the reader in understanding your statement or your claim. So the first definition that I think is helpful for you here is actually what a yellow banana is, because it's not just a banana that's yellow. A yellow banana is a banana that has ripened. I also think it's important for you to understand what ripening is, so I'm going to define that as well. Ripening is a process in fruits that causes them to become sweeter, softer, and less green. So at this point, I'm stuck again. I'm going to pull out another tool, quotation. Quotation is what we have called evidence. Quotation is when we quote a credible source word for word. So I'm going to quote a scientist here. I want to learn a little bit more about what the ripening process looks like. So I'm going to quote a scientist here. I did a little research. According to scientist David White, the key enzymes involved in fruit ripening is amylase. Amylase breaks down starch to produce simple sugars, which increases the sweetness of the ripening fruit. And I'm going to explain my evidence here, my quote, because that's going to help the reader. As bananas ripen, the healthy stuff, starch, breaks down and becomes more and more flavorful as time passes. So the next tool that I can use is called a concrete detail. Concrete details are information or facts that you've learned in your research. And what's important to see is the difference between concrete details and your opinion. A concrete detail is an actual fact, it's truth. It's something that most scientists or doctors or experts in the field believe is true. Your opinion is your thinking, your own analysis. So I'm going to pull out a paragraph that I wrote, the next paragraph, and let's look and see if we can decide what are the concrete details and then which are my opinions, because they're kind of blended together. We oftentimes blend concrete details and our own opinion. The most flavorful bananas are actually the brown speckled ones. However, what makes them subpar to the yellow bananas is their texture. As the banana loses its starchy quality, it also becomes softer and softer. Brown bananas, although tasty, are too soft. So I'm going to highlight the concrete details, the actual facts. So it is a fact that the most flavorful banana are actually the brown speckled ones, because those ones are the ones where all of the starch has been broken down and they're just pure sugar, so they are the most flavorful. However, what makes them subpar to the yellow banana is their texture. So that's my opinion, right? I'm saying that the brown bananas are subpar because of their texture. This is fact, however. This is a concrete detail. As the banana loses its starchy quality, it also becomes softer and softer. And then here's my opinion. Brown bananas, although tasty, are too soft. So I've used definition, I've used quotation, and I've used some concrete details. I'm going to finish off this section with just a quick concluding statement. The yummiest banana, therefore, is the yellow one. It's the best of both worlds. Oops, sorry, that should say worlds. Let's fix that. The best of both worlds, a little starchy and sweet. So here's your job. You need to make a claim about something random. I want you then to elaborate on that claim using definition, quotation, and concrete details. I also want you to notice here, and I'm going to bring this up here, change this so that you can see this, actually what I'm doing here. I'm going to put those in the same paragraph. Okay. I want you to notice that I've actually also used my tools that I learned last week on how to organize paragraphs or sections. So I've actually paragraphed this into smaller paragraphs than making all of my elaboration in one paragraph after my claim. So that's something else that you might play with today. You could also put all of your elaboration in one paragraph, but you also might play a little bit with what you practiced last week in breaking things up into sections or paragraphs. So make a claim about something random and then use definition, quotation, and concrete detail to elaborate on that. Have fun!